Good evening, everyone. On the behalf of Dr. G.D. Paul Foundation, YMT Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Kharkar, Navi Mumbai, and Kriya Shari Department, I, Dr. Prachi Jadhav, PG Scholar from Kriya Shari Department, welcome you all on the sixth and last day of our national webinar series, Ruth Spandanam, Cardiac Electrophysiology. I introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Subhash Vadhe sir. Sir is our today's chief guest, and sir is a principal of Jupiter Ayurvedic Medical College, Nagpur, Maharashtra. Sir currently working as professor in Department of Rog Nidan. Now I request our today's speaker to deliver their lecture. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Achi ma'am, Deepa ma'am, and other organizers who had given me this opportunity to interact with you smart peoples. So, and I thank my friend Dr. Ravi Pardesi also. I suppose he's here. Dr. Ravi, are you there? Okay, he will join soon. Let us start because we are already late and it's fault on my part.
Sir, I'm in the loop. I'm there. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, Ravi. I was quite busy today, just and
Yes,
the process is yet to finish, and
yes,
I came back for this lecture. Okay,
right.
fine.
So nice of you. Yes.
So, can you see the screen? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So today's topic discussion is a critical analysis of valvular heart disease and cardiac arrest with special reference to the pulse examination. Well, these valvular heart disease or arrhythmias arising out of various conditions, they're as such of all these entities, we don't find as a pinpoint description, classical texts, but in the pulse books, which are written almost after 13th or 14th century onwards, you find very well description of all these arrhythmias and the pulse characteristics which are found in all these diseases. Not only this, but I will also give a brief account of cardiac physiology written in these pulse texts. So they were having good enough idea of the cardiac cycle and the circulation. Although they were considering heart is having two chambers only, upper and lower. So cardiac cycle as per them is, so this is the shloka from Uma Maheshwar Nadi Tantra, and how it goes. During contraction of heart, blood is ejected into the chambers. Hrudiyat akunjanat rakte koshtam anyataha pradavati. After filling the chambers completely, another chamber is filled. Tat sanchite tat uttham cha pravishya cha aprasu. Next, they say, then from the heart, blood enters the lung, hrudiyat upasam yati. And from lungs, it enters to the heart, punaha vishati hardiki. So they were having the reasonably good idea of the process of circulation and cardiac cycle. After receiving the blood in left chamber, koshtaja agatya vame, it is again ejected forcibly into the aorta, puna vegena dhamani. From aorta, the blood is circulated in the entire body, mahadhamnim ashritte sharirecha anudhavati. From body again reaches to the heart, and from heart to the lungs, and from lungs to the heart. Udayat upasam yati, upsat hrudayam Hridaya Puna, and the cycle is repeated. Parampariyena Dhavati. The cycle is repeated. This is how the description of cardiac cycle is found in our science. Now, I will show you some few details of these things in our classical text, how they are mentioned there. Not only the description of cardiac cycle we find in the pulse books only, but it is given in classical text. How? Let us see. Now, what they say, Dashmul Sira Hridaya Pratibadda Sarvanga Pratyangishur Satmaka Ojananti, you all know. Now, the Bhel, you see, the condition is reasonably well explained by Acharya Bhela. What he says, Hrudo Rasuho Nisarati Tasmat Itich Sarvashaha Sirabi Hrudayam Vaiti, means Raso Nisarti, it gives off, and Sirabi Hrudayam Vaiti, from the veins it takes back. Hrudayam Vaiti. Tasmat Tat Prabhava Sira. That's why they are called as Sira. Another description, Sapta Sira Shatani Yabi Idam Shariram Aram Java Eva Jalaharini Bihi Kedar Eva Kulya Bi Upasniyate. As like those water channels in the field that gives nourishment to the plants. In the same way, the blood vessels, they provide nutrition to the body. And now see, not only the process, here you can notice very well, the process of systole and diastole is very well mentioned in our science. What he says, Anugradecha akunchan prasaranadibhi, Hrudayasya akunchan prasaranadibhi. So, akunchan contraction, systole, prasaranadibhi diastole, relaxation. Visheshahi Drumapatra Sevinam Yum Tasa Pratanaha, and these blood vessels, the branches, rebranches to form the network of blood vessels, and through this network of blood vessels, they provide the nutrition to the blood. So we can find the reference of this whole idea in our classical text also. Also Charkacharya also gives the Dashojo Rasavaha Vidhamyate Sarvadena Rasaha Samvartamanam Pradem Samavishitiyatra. Samvartamanam makes the cycle. Here that word is important. It gives off and takes back and completes the one avartan. So Samvartan, excuse me please, just a minute. We will continue. Battery was discharging. Next. Now let us see the conduction system of the heart. Now you see, before this, the Chavara who invented the AV node, and the Keith who invented the SA node in 1907 and 1906, respectively. Before that time also, our acharyas were having some type of conduction system of the heart, how heart beats, how the blood is ejected, what is the mechanism behind it. Well, these gentlemen, they had given the name to these cardiac pacemakers as SA node, AV node, bundle of peace, and you know these things, and till the Purkinje fiber. But in our science, the conduction system of the heart, conduction of the heart is started by the Vyanavai. So what they say, Saptasirashadani Upasna Akunchan Prasarana, the contraction and relaxation. How? Vayuhu Dehina Hrudayam Dehi Tat Sankocham Vikasam Cha Swataha Kuryat Puna Puna. It beats repeatedly, the Vayu. Which Vayu? This nervine impulse. Sankochena Bahi Ati. It ejects the blood. By contraction, it ejects the blood. Vayu Antaha Vikasata. And relax and takes the blood by relaxation. Tatoho Nadeha Chalanti Asruk Dharaya Spurnam Tataha. Now, one more reference in Sharandra, Dhammaneo Rasavayini, Dhamanti Pavanam Tano. Dhaman, the word Dhaman is for ejection. Dhanat iti raktas, and the meaning of that is given as Dhanat iti balat vikshepanat. Balat, forceful ejection of the blood from the heart. So here is a clear-cut idea that this Van value in the heart, it initiates the process of conduction and because of the impulse from the van valve, both atria contracts, and after that, this current wave of van valve spreads entirely into the entire heart. Then there after that there is a ventricular contraction, and this is initiated by van valve. Although they have used the terminology which was prevailing in those days. So what is pulse is given a rudirat dhamani pandate moho. Rudira is the blood, lava vegena, so pressure, blood pressure, dhamani is pandate. So forward movement of blood through the pliable and compliant boundaries of arteries during systole and contraction of the heart generates a palpable blood pressure wave. It's called as pulse. Rudirat lava vegena, there is blood pressure wave which we feel on the pulse. That pressure, blood pressure wave, that is the pulse, in short. The pulse examination is tactile determination of systolic blood pressure to a trained observer that we know. And though pulse rate is the expansion and contraction of the rate of arteries, but it is mainly dependent of the heart contraction. That point we should not forget. Pulse generation, how pulse generates, pulse gets generated. Parivyapaklam kayam dhamnyo udayashita vahanti shronite strote shariram poshyanti. Rudrat again we have just seen the arteries attached to the heart through the network of its branches supplies the blood to the whole body. Artery pulsates dhamni spandate due to pressure on the blood, due to pressure of the blood, rudirat vegena in it, so that artery gets pulsates due to the pressure of the blood in it, and the variation in pressure, utplav prakriti bheda, variation in pressure generates the different kind of pulsations, and these different kinds of pulsation by the trained hand makes the diagnosis. So in ancient times, we see there was no investigations like ECG, echo, etc., and the entire diagnosis of cardiac disorders were based on the pulse examination. And today we know we do it by the pulse is examined by this plethysmograph and etc. And there are more devices, and we also measure the pulse transit time. The plethysmograph, the different, in you usually find that below that monitor this type of waveforms. So this type of waveforms, it indicates the normal function of the heart. This type of plethysmograph, irregular heartbeat. This type again irregular, and this is the weak signal. Now pulse in heart diseases as per our the pulse in heart disease is sometimes rapid, sometimes slow, sometimes irregular, sometimes obstructed, sometimes hard, and sometimes churn. Mathita type of pulse we should keep in mind. This is invariably suggestive of murmurs and valvular heart diseases most of the time. So Mathita type of nadi. Niranga, sometimes not felt. Nihanga. So important plus the pulse view is this is what I told you. Murmurs are invariably associated with valvular heart diseases, and this Mathita type of nadi we get in that condition. So normal heart you can see, and on other side aortic stenosis you can see. The loss of compliance in the stenosed aortic wall makes it harder to open, requiring increased generation of blood pressure in the left ventricle, giving rise to slow rising and slowly falling pulse because of non-compliance of the valves. And what kind of pulse it generates? There is little difficulty in. Okay, we will see that. Another condition is aortic regurgitation, wherein there is a reflux of blood from the aorta through the incompetent aortic wall into the left ventricle during diastole and causes vigorous pulsation due to left ventricular hypertrophy. More is the mass set into oscillation, vigorous will be the pulsation. The pulse in aortic stenosis, as per modern science, it is called as pulsus tardus or parvis. It is a slow rising and slowly falling pulse caused by this increasingly stiff aortic wall. And loss of compliance in the aortic wall makes it progressively harder to open, thus requiring increased generation of the blood pressure that we see. Just to keep in mind, because we are going to see its counterpart type of findings in our Ayurveda. Now, this slowly falling, slowly rising and slowly falling. Now, aortic stenosis like pulse in Ayurveda is given as mandam, shithilam, vyakulam, vastitva vati damni yati nasham sukshma. What does it mean? Pulse which moves slowly rising, mandam, and collapses slowly, shithilam, and unstable, vacuum, like pulsus tardus. Or moves intermittently, stitva bhati, and which is very weak, sukshma, carries bad prognosis. Pulse in aortic regurgitation, we get pulses, it is called as pulsus sailor, quickly rising and quickly falling. There it was slowly rising, slowly falling. Here, quickly rising and quickly falling pulse seen in aortic regurgitation. Another variety is hyperkinetic pulse due to, because of the large left ventricular mass. A bounding pulse signifies high pulse pressure. This is due to increased stroke volume of the left ventricle and decrease in the peripheral resistance, leading to the widened pulse pressure of aortic regurgitation. Another variety is Watson's water hammer pulse. It is a pulse that is bounding, forceful, rapidly increasing, and subsequently collapsing. Rapidly increasing and rapidly falling. See, water hammer was a Victorian instrument in which both side closed glass was there. Glass is there, and in between that cavity in the vacuum, the water is there. And so when you turn it up and down, the force with which that water hits the surface, and that feeling, that is the water hammer pulse. Another is pulsus bisferens by two peaks at the bisferens means two peaks due to abnormal opening and closure of the aortic wall. There are simultaneous two pulses to each heartbeat instead of one. This is pulsus bisferens. And now let us see how they have been mentioned in our science. There is little problem in moving. Should Now this pulsus bisferens with graphical presentation, large and bounding pulse. Now aortic regurgitation like pulse in Ayurveda, Shanat gachti vegena shantata lavati shanat. Rapidly rising and rapidly falling. The patient whose pulse rises quickly and collapses quickly. And if there is no compensatory mechanism, patient may die. And earlier, see, there was no satisfactory treatment, and because of the various things, even the diagnosis also. So that's why it was all these conditions were fatal in the ancient time. Now let us see the mitral valve stenosis like condition. Here, to maintain the output pressure in the left auricle, the left atrium increases, resulting in left atrial hypertrophy, which can lead to atrial fibrillation. So mitral valve causing atrial fibrillation at the end ultimately, and mitral regurgitation. In the case of mitral regurgitation, the flow of the blood gets backward through the mitral valve into the left atrium during the ventricular contraction. That you know very well, causing increase in left atrial pressure. Since blood is regurgitated, stroke volume increases to maintain the output. The pulse in mitral stenosis is with small amplitude, regular. Pulse may be hypokinetic initially, and later may be associated with AF-like pulse. So you can see in the graphic, it is irregular and then getting like the fibrillating waves, the sort of like. Heart rate is
Sorry to
about.
interrupt, sir. Your slides.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Slide change नहीं चल गया. Stenosis like pulse in Ayurveda ही slide आ रहा है.
Wait. Just wait. A heart rate is about 100 to 150 minutes, and it is irregular pulse. Irregularly irregular. Now let us see in our science. Mitral stenosis, like pulse in Ayurveda. Don't make premature assumptions. Please wait for little time. अति सूक्ष्म अति वेगा च शीतला च भवेत यदि. Patient in whom there is a weak small pulse and rapid pulse which is cold should, and this you see this fibrillation, they generate a very small pulse or no pulse, and patient may die eventually because of the arrhythmia. Another reference from Ravan Nadi Tantra is Ati Sukshma Pruthak Shigra Savega Bharita Ardhika Bhutva Bhutva Mriyate Tada Vidyat Asadha. The pulse which is weak, rapid, full, and wait, and disappears intermittently indicates bad prognosis. This is nothing but this occurring in the atrial fibrillation. Mitral regurgitation type of pulse it is irregular due to atrial fibrillation, fibrillating and chaotic. That is both these conditions ultimately leads to the atrial fibrillation, and the way the pulsation is very chaotic, abnormal firing. And the reference we find as Kampate Spandate Tantuvat Punha Changli Sprishet Tamasadhyam Vijani. Pulse which vibrates like thread, again touch the fingertips and carries very bad prognosis. Tantuvat, very thready pulse. Tricuspid stenosis, radial pulse features same as mitral stenosis. It's the same like atrial fibrillation. So what is arrhythmia? It is nothing but the irregular heartbeat. It may feel like heart skipped or added beat, is a fluttering or is beating too fast tachycardia or too slow bradycardia. And types of arrhythmia, tachycardia or bradycardia. Tachycardia, we find sinus tachycardia. Among that, supraventricular tachycardia, that is atrial tachycardia, atrial fibrillation, atrial ectopic beats, ventricular tachycardia, ventricular premature beats, ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation. Bradycardia, sinus bradycardia, pathological bradycardia is sick sinus syndrome and AV block. Let us see how. And diagnosis of arrhythmia is by pulse examination, electrocardiogram, Holter monitoring, event monitoring, stress test, echocardiogram, cardiac catheterization, electrophysiology study, head field test. These are the modern things. Features of arrhythmia: palpitations, pounding, fluttering chest, dizziness, fainting, dizziness because of reduction in forward blood to the brain, fainting, shortness of breath, chest discomfort, weakness or feeling of tired because of these, again, the forward lack of forward projection of the blood, racing heartbeat, tachycardia, slow heart. Now see the reference sinus tachycardia. This can be seen as a normal tachycardia, sinus tachycardia. The kamat, krodhat, vegvati, kshina, chinta, bhayaputa, Pandoroga, Sambhogat, Vyayamat, Shwase. You see, if we Summarize those things. So it is the fever, anemia, dyspnea, exercise, worry, fear, anger, sexual excitement, epilepsy, mental shock due to monetary loss, hypovolemia, and the same, Dr. Anemia. So these are all the conditions which gives rise to sinus tachycardia. Whatever mentioned in modern science, same are mentioned in Ayurveda also. And in one study, actually, they tried to record these things, how these emotional disturbances, what impact they causes on the pulse. So this is heart rhythm patterns they get in frustration, anxiety, worry, irritation, like things, wherein there is.
Hello, sir. Excuse me. The slides are seen, sir. Continue. I am seeing this stenosis like.
Is it visible to all or not? Use this. Is it visible?
Only one slide.
Is it visible to all or not? Is there any problem?
Lights are visible, but they are not moving. Slides are not moving.
Can you correct it from your side? What is the problem actually? I'm not getting this. What is happening actually? Because I'm moving the slide and slides are moving. Whether they are visible to you or not, I'm not getting properly.
I hope everyone can see only the slide that is stenosis like pulse in Ayurveda only. Since last 5-6 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Shall I go back?
Okay.
What is the? Could you please correct it?
Stenosis like pulse in Ayurveda. That was the slide we are looking now.
So much of the thing missed.
Mandam mandam chithiram chithiram vyakulam vyakulam va.
So other sides you couldn't see.
Maybe you need to share it again, sir. Stop share and restart it again.
Okay. What is the problem? So no. What happened actually?
Now it's visible.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now.
Is it going? Is it moving forward?
Yes, it is moving also.
Till here we had seen, I suppose.
No,
No, this is not seen.
This
Now
we haven't
this
seen,
one?
sir.
This one?
No. Prior to this, one slide back.
This one?
No, one
This
slide
one?
back.
This one?
No.
No. Back.
Back.
Again, back.
Pulse in heart disease?
Mandam shithilam. That was a sloka there.
That is aortic stenosis. This is, could you see it now?
Yes.
Is it visible?
This exactly.
This
Now
is visible to me. Is it visible to you also?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we had gone long forward and it came back. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So kind of you.
So aortic stenosis like pulse in Ayurveda, the pulse which moves slowly and collapses slowly. So mandam and shithilam. This slide you can see pulse in aortic regurgitation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The pulse cellular is quickly rising, and because so many people are requesting for getting to admit, and I think because of that issue may be arising.
So you need not admit them, sir. There are people who have been made co-host,
Okay.
and probably they will admit the experience there.
Okay.
Yes.
So pulsus cellular in aortic regurgitation, a quickly rising and quickly falling pulse. Hyperkinetic pulse because large mass set into the oscillation because of left ventricular hypertrophy and increased stroke volume. You get the hyperkinetic pulse. Watson's water hammer pulse It is bounding and forceful, rapidly increasing and subsequently collapsing. That water hammer instrument, I told you, that is a Victorian toy-like instrument in which both hand closed, glass-like toy is there in between. That water is there. वो लाड़ी लप्पा जैसा होता है ना, वैसा टाइप का वो, when you make it up and down, it hits your hand, and that feeling is the water hammer pulse. Pulse was experienced by is the two peaks at one time. This is how their graphical representation. Can you see this? Is it going okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now let us see aortic regurgitation like pulse in Ayurveda. Kshanat gacchati vegena shantata labhate kshanat. The patient whose pulse rises quickly and collapses quickly. This is like a pulse cellar or water hammer. And now coming to the mitral valve stenosis, you know what happens in stenosis is the increase in the left atrial mass hypertrophy, which causes ultimately the atrial fibrillation. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall
You
we
can continue whenever the problem arises. We will let you
Yes,
know.
please tell me. Huh?
Yes.
Mitral regurgitation, backward flow, again that can also cause the atrial fibrillation. The pulse in mitral stenosis is with small amplitude, regular hypokinetic initially, but with the AF, the pulse gets very irregular, that sawtooth-like and very, very fine pulse, which you may not pick up also. So that mitral stenosis, like pulse in Ayurveda, is given as Ati Sukshma Ati Vega Cha Shitala. The patient weak, small pulse, rapid pulse, which is cold. This condition and all these conditions were very fatal in earlier times due to lack of proper diagnosis and proper treatment. Another reference is from Ravan Nadi Tantra is Ati Sukshma Puthak Shigra Vega Savega Bhutva Bhutva Mriyate. Pulse which is weak, rapid, full, and disappears intermittently indicates the bad prognosis. Again, mitral regurgitation ultimately causing the fibrillation, and the waves is very chaotic. Kampate spandate tantuvat punacha, that thready pulse. Tricuspid stenosis, same as mitral stenosis. Tricuspid regurgitation, same as mitral regurgitation, which eventually leads to the atrial fibrillation, and the same findings. So what is arrhythmia? You know, this tachycardia, bradycardia. Tachycardia is like supraventricular and ventricular. We know that. And supraventricular tachycardia is again differentiated into atrial tachycardia, atrial fibrillation, topic beats. Same with ventricles also. Bradycardia, sinus bradycardia, and the another is pathological bradycardia, sick sinus syndrome, heart block. Diagnosis of arrhythmia by modern way, you know, this pulse, I need not elaborate, electrocardiogram, Holter monitoring, event monitoring, echocardiogram, catheterization, etc. Features: palpitations, pounding or fluttering in the chest, dizziness because of lack of forward blood flow to the brain, fainting, shortness of breath, chest discomfort, weakness, racing heart, tachycardia. Here are their references, and if we summarize those references, we get sinus tachycardia as per Ayurveda in fever, anemia, dyspnea, exercise, worry, fear, anger, sexual excitement, epilepsy, mental shock due to monetary loss, hypovolemia, blood loss. These are the same causes which are mentioned in the modern science also. And in one study, they tried to study the emotional impact on the pulse findings. So in frustration, anxiety, worry, irritation, the pulse was incoherent, means irregular. There was no coherence between the two subsequent beats. And in positive emotions like appreciation, love, care, when the individual is at relax, there was a coherence in the pulse wave pattern. ECG features of sinus tachycardia, we know this, more than 100 beats per minute regular. Before we need not to go into the details of that. Another example of 15-second long PPG pulse plethysmograph and corresponding synchronizes ECG sample for normal sinus rhythm. Atrial fibrillation and pulse criteria we had seen. Here again, that kampate spandate tantuvat punha cha anguli sprishet, pulse which vibrates like thread. Evidence to fibrillation in Ayurveda. So one of the symptoms of arrhythmia is fluttering, pounding in the chest. In one Haritkrit Nadi Vigyan, they have mentioned Hridayam kampate yasya ninimittam punah punah. The person whose heart fibrillates again and again without any reason and associated with restlessness, severe restlessness, and the thirst is going to die. So this is nothing but the condition of fibrillation. This is synchronized ECG with AF. You can see the irregular ECG in the bottom. Beats are variable in strength. In the above PPG, you see the amplitude, their amplitude is varying. Here, 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 they are not regular. Atrial tachycardia, pulse is rapid but regular. AT-like condition, Ati Sukshma Prutak Shigra Savega Bhutva Bhutva Mriyate. Pulse which is 3D, rapid, full, but disappears intermittently. This can be correlated with atrial tachycardia like pulse condition. Ventricular premature beat, you see in this, the pulse is irregular due to the premature beats. We can see here the premature beat, and some early beats may not be felt at the wrist. Ventricular premature beats may give rise to pulses bigeminous, indicating a pair of hoop beats within each heartbeat. So, causing the gallop rhythm. And this ventricular premature beat-like condition in Ayurveda, we can trace as given in Ravan Nadi Tantra, Kashta Kuto yatha kashtam kute iti ativegataha stitva chaliti ya sannipatina jayate. The pulse which beats intermittently, fast and fast. Kashta Kuto means that woodpecker, the bird woodpecker, tick, 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 tick. Then he stops, then he takes the pause, then again start tick, 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 again take a pause. So they have given the adjectives to explain those conditions, because whatever the resources they were having to explain that phenomena or that conditions, they have used those terminologies, those adjectives to explain the condition. As that time these monitors and etc., they were not there. So though these fast and pause intermittent, the fast and pause, that woodpecker like. Ventricular tachycardia, very rapid one, regular heart rate that originates with abnormal electrical signals, and the pulse is very rapid but regular, and which finally terminates into the ventricular fibrillation, causing irregular one. We are going to see that. Ventricular tachycardia like pulse can be traced in Nadi Tantra. Gati Brahmarakasya evam vahet ekadinanti. Patient whom the pulse is fast like bee, like honey bee, मधुमक्खी की तरह इतना फास्ट होती है, इतना फास्ट चलती है. And why this ventricular tachycardia? Why I'm correlating with ventricular tachycardia? The attendance lives for a day only. He may die because ultimately it culminates into the ventricular fibrillation and patient. This is a very fatal condition. VT and VT-VF. This is a very fatal condition. My friend knows. Dr. Ravi is here. He is the better person to tell you regarding that how fatal the condition is. We have seen so many patients in the ICUs. Stitva nadi mukhya vidyut dyot ivekshate dina ekam jivitam tasya dvitiyam riyate dhruvam. The patient in whom the pulse is felt like lightning, bijli ke saman, lives for a day only. Another adjective is used as a damru kopama. Patient whose pulse vibrates fast like musical drum, the damru, dum 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 dum, very fast. Such patient lives for one day only. Another reference is Ati Sukshma, Ati Vega, cha Shitala. Shitala, why? There is, as the perfusion deficit is there and body doesn't get the proper perfusion, extremities gets cold, and the pulse is also. The patient in whom there is a rapid but feeble pulse which is cold should be considered as dying. Excuse me, please. So, sorry for the disturbance. Photoplethysmography, pulse tracing in VT. Here they have wonderfully traced the things. A decrease in pulse amplitude here in the circle can be observed in the PPG signal. Ventricular fibrillation, very chaotic. There is no pulse at all because in the fibrillating waves that they are not strong enough to generate the pulse. VF like pulse in Ayurveda. Nispandam, Nadika Hinam, Shaka Pallav Shitalam Tyajit. Patient in whom there is no pulse and extremities are cold should not be treated. This is a typical finding of VF. And patient lands in a very emergency, cardiac arrest. Swasthan Vichuta Nadi, Yada Vati Vanava, Jwala Hruday Tivra Tada Jwala Vadi Sthiti means patient in whom there is irregular pulse which is felt or not felt, and there is as long as the burning is there in the chest, patient lives up to that time only. Means till he has till he feels the heat, or till his heart is like quivering in that condition, but till his life is there. Another VF like pulse in Ayurveda, Yada Nadi Hata Vega, Swandate Naiva Labhyate, Tada Dinasya Madhya tu Maranam Roginam. Again, this condition, why? Very fatal condition. When the pulse is not felt at all, then patient dies in middle of the day. This is VF like condition. Again, Vidyutvat Rogina Nadi Drishyate Chana Drishyate, Akale Vidyut Patyasya Gachyat Yama Sadhana. Patient in whom pulse is felt or not felt, like lightning, is going to die. Again, the VF like condition. Sinus bradycardia, this is according to the modern science. Athletes, hypothyroidism, hypothermia, cholestatic jaundice, raised ICT, ischemia, beta blockers. Rate is below 60. Again, sorry for the disturbance. Now, this sixth sinus syndrome, it is caused by the ischemia or degeneration of the sinus node. AV block, conduction from atria to ventricles is delayed. After 2 or 3 atrial depolarization, 1 ventricular QRS. You know this? So here can you see sixth sinus syndrome? You can see it is characterized by long interval between 2 consecutive P waves. Here is a sinus pause. These sinus pauses may give rise to combination of fast and slow supraventricular rhythm. that is called Taki-Brady syndrome. Now let us trace this syndrome in Ayurveda. So nadi kadachit mandagamna, kadachit vegvahini, and swasthan vichuta. Pulse which is alternatively fast Taki and slow Brady is fatal. This can be traced like this. AV block, the pulse in AV block, there is conduction from atria to ventricle and is delayed after 2 or 3 atrial depolarizations. Pulse intermittent dropping out of the beat at pulse is called intermittent pulse. This can be traced as stitva chalati ya sadnya jivanashini. Atikshinacha shita, pulse which feels intermittently after pauses, stitva chalati, and which one is very weak and fat. This is a fatal one. So in impression, we see after thorough study of the Ayurvedic pulse diagnosis text, it is noticed that these peculiar findings correlates with many of the valvular heart disease and cardiac arrhythmia states described in modern science. So for preliminary diagnostic information of the valvular heart diseases and cardiac arrhythmias is possible through Ayurvedic pulse examination, which can later be confirmed with the 2D echo and electrocardiography. So take-home message is Mathita, churning type of pulse is consistent with the valvular heart disease. The murmur that gives rise to Mathita type, churning figure. And that too, you feel this pulse when you put pressure on the pulse and palpate it with 3-4 times. And after that, you can feel this Mathita type of pulse. Mathita type of pulse we have seen so many times. Even in our during postings also, Dr. Kodwani sir used to demonstrate this type of pulse, and we got so many patients of the Mathita. And in those conditions, most of the patients were of anemia actually, hemic murmurs. So valvular heart disease, they are invariably associated with the murmurs. The hemic murmurs is a different state, and valvular heart is a different state. Bhramar, B, Gati, and Damru, musical drum like Gati of pulse is noticed in cardiac arrhythmias, VT and AT. See, Bhramar and Damru like. Cardiac arrhythmias and valvular heart diseases states can very well be traced in ancient Ayurvedic pulse examination books. Ayurvedic pulse examination is important primary tool to diagnose this condition, which can be later confirmed with the modern investigations like ECG and echo. So futuristic Ayurvedic pulse diagnosis, many people, they are approaching in this field now. They have invented a device. One Veda pulse is from Russia, which acts on the principles of heart rate variability. And from heart rate variability, they actually assess so many things, not only related to the cardiac abnormality, but related to the gastroenterology also. So, and not only this, with the reasonable accuracy, the various parameters of the body, as like etc., they are also traced from this Veda pulse device. And another one is developed in India, that is Nadi Tarangini. That is also wonderful instruments. Every year they are updating it with the findings, and many are now using it. So our futuristic approach is quite promising one, and attempts to record the pulse were there since the long time. In 1847, it was Carl Ludwig who invented the kymograph for recording the hemodynamic variables of the pulse, which basically consisted of a revolving drum wrapped with a sheet of paper on which a stylus was used to move and record the changes of blood pressure or pulse motions. Another in 1860 by the French physiologist Etienne Murray, we revised the previously invented that sphygmometer-induced sphygmograph with graphical recording capabilities. Another attempt to record pulse was by Muhammad, who revised Murray's sphygmograph with the aid of this sphygmograph, he described high tensions in the arterial system and was the first to describe essential hypertension and distinguish from the hypertension caused by glomerulonephritis. And then several other pulses were described on the sphygmometric characteristics in 20th century: water hammer pulse, Bisperins, and anacardic. It was Clinton Bramwell in early 20th century who introduced the concept of pulse wave velocity. And despite all the, these they have invented, but despite all these studies, there is still ongoing substantial controversy about the best method to be used in the clinical arena. Now, with the invention of the plethysmograph by Smith in the mid-20th century, studies of the pulse wave have proceeded at a fast pace. With both sphygmography and plethysmography can be used for monitoring the pulse wave and regularity. Plethysmography can offer more technical uses, including peripheral oximetry. And with the pulse oximetry only, that we can see that plethysmograph and the monitor which is kept in the ICUs. It's very easy to monitor because of that inventions. So thank you. This is my number 703-800-648. For any queries or for other detailed things, if you want, you can call me on this time, preferably after 7:30, between 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. only. And this is my book on cardiology in Ayurveda. And I tell you, this is a wonderful book which it compasses all the references of cardiology, which could have been traced in the best possible way. So you will find so many things. We are short of the time. We have actually crossed, I think. You can have this book. If you don't get it on Instamojo, you can directly contact me also, if whosoever are interested. While writing this book, I went through so much of the literature, and after writing, when I was preparing this book, then only I came to know about there is an idea of cardiologists in Ayurveda. They were called as the Hriday Chintaka. It was called by Charaka as the Hriday Chintaka or Arth Chintaka. So I will stop here.
Thank you so much, sir. If participants have any query, please unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, you can take some. Video is not getting on. My video is not getting on. Could you please open my video?
Yes, it is on, sir. We can see you.
Oh, okay. I cannot see myself. Okay, fine.
I think there is no query, chat box, sir.
So just
it is difficult to get in one sitting because to trace all these conditions, I had to go through. I had to do so much of the exercise, and it may not be possible for audience to get it at one go only. Since my friend has witnessed it twice, he is the cardiologist. Because of that, he must have grasped it.
But overall, it is good to see that, sir. at least somebody is taking effort to bring those Ayurvedic concepts on a scientific platform, and is able to demonstrate that the Ayurvedic physicians also were having equally rich view of diagnosing these disorders.
Yes, but what I felt when I was preparing for this, it was a challenge actually to create a cardiology in Ayurveda. There were some few books on cardiology. It was earlier one sincere attempt by Dr. Athawale.
Yes,
And after that, there was no any significant book, but other books were just a copy paste approach. Dr. Athawale's effort was a genuine effort, but it was lacking in many respects, because question maybe before them also, how to describe these conditions which are not given in Ayurveda, mitral-stenotic like conditions, regurgitated like conditions, fibrillations. Well, you see, with my background, with having experience in cardiology at ICUs, I could have traced it in better way.
yes.
Not only this, I describe many phenomena on the basis of Kshatriya Kalas, how this PhD, etc., ventricular heart disease, valvular heart disease, how they get into the criteria of Kshatriya Kalas. And many other things. The book is, those who are interested, they can really, read that book. How?
Yes, and the real challenge is in determining whether the pulse is getting affected or influenced by the systemic disorder. Because in Ayurveda, we think that even constipation can change the pulse.
Yes.
So
all the Grahani, Atisara, Balbaddhata, etc., all they have given. And it is the beauty of Ayurveda. Now, interestingly, the newer devices like Veda Pulse, which I told just now, they are based on the principle of heart rate variability, and they are diagnosing the conditions apart from the cardiological conditions. Most of the gastroenterological conditions, they are picking on this device.
Yes. That means every systemic disease or illness has some effect on the cardiac activity.
Yes, because you see, it is not only the simple we are palpating the pulse. There are so many changes. They say that heart rate variability says that no two pulse waves or no two peaks are same. They differ.
Yes.
They differ every second. They differ. We are anxious. We are tense. We are stressed. We are constipated. We are feeling every moment there is a variation, heart rate, and based upon this heart rate variation they are picking the non-cardiac conditions.
Yes. They are picking the even they are analyzing HGOT, HGPT enzymes also, sir.
Yes.
To a greatest predictability.
And to the great astonishment, my great surprise, they are reasonably matches the standard.
Yes. And audience will be amazed to know that even simple measurement in the form of a wave is giving results about the non-waveform variables also, like HGOT, HGPT, bilirubin, hemoglobin, etc.
How your body physiology is working. How body is working. What is the status of your body physiology? Based on the heart rate variability, whether they are in a normal state or not, whether the liver is working properly, whether the pancreas is working properly, whether the kidney is working properly, LFT, KFT, all the values, and they almost they come match with a slight variation of 1 or 2. It is the same.
Yes. That means whatever Acharyas thought that. Yes, sir. Go on, please. That's why our Acharyas were brilliant enough to think and keep this in terms of a pulse variation and pulse variability.
Actually, they were the pioneers. They
Yes,
were the
yes, yes.
first to introduce this idea of non-cardiac diseases from the pulse diagnosis.
Hmm. Exactly. So, Patel madam, if you have something to add into this, because you also delivered some of the good aspects of Ayurvedic cardiology yesterday.
Her
I
audio
think
is.
ma'am is not there. Like she's not. She
But
hasn't.
it's our duty to bring out this uh, beautiful description. You see, people usually they even don't think that there is systole and diastole is mentioned in Ayurveda.
Hmm.
They're quite ignorant of the things.
Hmm.
All of them they had gone through it,
Hmm.
but still, despite showing the evidence, then it becomes very means amazing for them that there is systole and diastole. Akunchan prasarana.
Yes,
हृदय से
and that
clearly mentioned.
संकोच विकासंच स्वतः कुर्यात पुनः पुनः. That is the ultimate.
Puna.
Because
Ultimate.
myocardium itself has a capacity to relax and contract on its own.
Yes. And
There is
one avartan.
automaticity. Yes, yes.
Yeah, for cardiac cycle, the Charkacharya has used the word avartan.
Avartan.
Puna puna.
Yes, yes.
Puna puna avartana. Punaravartanam.
Hmm.
The cardiac cycle is repeated. This is how the process of circulation goes on, and this process is repeated.
Yes, yes.
What else you
Right,
need?
sir.
What else? What other evidence to be shown?
Hmm.
They were not. We are very scientific approach is there.
Hmm.
Just we need to trace it.
Yes, yes.
So shall we move forward, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Prachi, please continue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Waghe, sir, and Dr. Raviraj Padeji, sir. Now, addressed by Head of Department, I request Dr. Deepa Kale, ma'am, to come forward.
Thank you, Prachi. A very good evening to all. Respected Dr. G.D. Paul, sir, Dr. Subhash Waghe, sir, Dr. Sanjeev Yadav, sir, and Dr. Neena Sathe, sir, Dr. Raviraj Pardeshi, sir, Dr. Tarannum, madam, and Dr. Jay Ade, sir, all the HODs, faculties, and participants. We, the Kriya Shari department, organized this webinar series from 26th of July till 31st of July 2021. I'm happy to share that we have organized such types of academic activities in the past too, with the continuous medical education, that is CME, arranged in the year 2019 to 2020, and a national one-day webinar in the year 2020. This webinar series was organized on a stretch of 6 days to cover all the topics related to electrocardiogram. All the topics are useful for first year, second year, final year, undergraduate students, and also for the postgraduate students of Kriya Sharir, Rog Nidan, Kai Chikitsa departments as well. Clinical aspects of electrocardiogram were also covered from modern as well as Ayurveda aspects. So we hope that all these lectures will be of great help to physicians too. I'm thankful to Honorable Dr. G.D. Paul, sir, Dr. Sanjeev Yadav, sir, Dr. Neena Sathe, sir, for always encouraging and giving support to all these activities. Last but not the least, I'm thankful to all the speakers, Dr. Subhash Waghe, sir, Dr. Raviraj Pardeshi, sir, Dr. Tarannum Patel, madam, and Dr. Jay Ade, sir, for imparting their knowledge. I'm utmost thankful to the departmental staff, my lovely departmental staff, for their support and help. Thank you. Over to sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And also my PG students, especially Dr. Prachi and Dr. Ashwini, they have helped a lot during these 6 days. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Deepa ma'am. Now it's the time of feedback of our participants. I request Dr. Mendki sir to give their feedback. Over to you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. पहले तो मैं चाहूंगा कि YMT के सभी लोगों का बहुत ही तहे दिल से बधाई दूं उन्हें। आपने बहुत अच्छा मौका दिया है हम लोगों को, और जो भी वक्ताओं का चयन आप लोगों ने किया था वो बहुत ही बढ़िया था। डॉक्टर रविराज सर का तो मैं फैन हूँ। चाहूंगा ऐसा कि अगर हृदय खोलकर फिजियोलॉजी पढ़ाई जाए, इमेजिन कीजिए हम लोग, तो वो कैसी रहेगी। तो रविराज सर विल बी द अल्टीमेट पर्सन टू एक्सप्लेन। मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे ओपन हार्ट सर्जरी हम लोग सुनते हैं, वैसे ओपन हार्ट फिजियोलॉजी रविराज सर बता रहे हैं। His speeches were definitely making speechless to all of us. सबसे बढ़िया बात तो ये थी कि फर्स्ट ईयर का छात्र से लेकर जो अभी रिटायरमेंट की स्टेज पर है, ऐसे मेरे लिए भी उनका पढ़ाने का तरीका यह बहुत ही बेहतरीन था। मैं उन्हें तहे दिल से शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ, बधाई देता हूँ। डॉक्टर जय सर तो इमर्जिंग इमेज है ही की, साथ में काम किया है उन लोगों ने। और आपको सुनकर यह ताज्जुब होगा कि मैंने पूरे दिन बिल्कुल शुरू से लेकर अंत तक सभी को सुना है। जिन जिन लोगों ने पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने उनसे सुना है। कुछ छात्र जैसे रविराज सर ने भी उनसे पूछा था, एक करिश्मा जैन करके SRG सोलापुर की छात्रा थी, फाइनल ईयर की स्टूडेंट। तो अचानक ही मेरा जय आर्य सर से बात हुई और उनसे मैंने पूछा तो ये कैसा है, तो उन्होंने बताया कि करिश्मा जैन फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट है और बहुत अच्छी पढ़ाई करती है। तो इट वाज जस्ट रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ जय आर्य सर टीचिंग, एंड जय आर्य सर परफॉर्मेंस इज रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ असिस्टेंट। तो ये जो परंपरा मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छी लगती है। फिर तरन्नुम पटेल मैडम के बारे में कहना बहुत बढ़िया है। उनका जो डेप्थ है और हाइट है वो दोनों भी बहुत ही अभ्यासपूर्ण रही है। अत्यंत प्रेरणादायी और प्रभावी ऐसा उनका वक्तव्य रहा। बिल्कुल गौर से देखा होगा आप लोगों ने तो आपको याद आएगा कि जिस तरह से एक माँ अपने घर की भी जिम्मेदारी संभालती है और बाकी भी जिम्मेदारियां संभालती है, उसी मातृ हृदयता के साथ उन्होंने अपने वेबिनार में प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, जो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। और आज जो भाग्य सर था, हालांकि बहुत ही जल्दी में उन्होंने ये सब किया है, लेकिन उनके एफर्ट्स जो है इट वाज रियल हिमालयन वंडर। आई थैंक्स एंड बोथ यू सर। आपने जो भी कहा है हम लोगों के लिए तो बहुत ही अच्छा है। और मैं ये चाहूंगा कि चरक सुश्रुत वाग्भट और लघुत्रयी इन्हीं को लेकर हमने आयुर्वेद को सीमित नहीं रखना चाहिए। जो भी उपब्रूहण करने वाले शब्द है उनको हम लोगों ने सिलेबस में शामिल करना चाहिए। ऐसे में आपके माध्यम से सभी को विनती करता हूँ। नाड़ी विज्ञान के बाद जिस ढंग से करते हैं, मेरे हारिकृत नक्षत्र हो, रावणकृत हो या अन्य हो, यह सभी बिल्कुल सटीक और यह बताने वाले हैं। हालांकि ये बात जरूर है कि हम लोग कितना पढ़ते हैं, कितना पढ़ाते हैं, कितना कर पाते हैं। मथिता, भ्रमर, डमरू, आपने कुड़वानी सर का जिक्र किया, यह मेरे लिए पूरी तरह नए थे। मुझे नहीं लगता कि क्रिया शरीर विषय में इस ढंग से किसने पढ़ाई की हो। तो मैं आयोजकों को इसलिए धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा। और नाड़ी तरंगिणी के बारे में मैंने सुना था, पढ़ा भी था उसका आर्टिकल। IIT मुंबई के लोगों ने भी कुछ किया है इसके बारे में काम। डॉक्टर संजय छाजड़ सर का भी लेक्चर्स मैंने कंटिन्यू अटेंड किए हैं, तो इसमें भी मैंने जाना है। एक बात सिर्फ मैं आपकी परमिशन से कहता हूँ सर, कि मुझे याद है कि 10-12 पहले मैंने एक बुक पढ़ी थी जिसका नाम था 32 Heartbeats। द बुक वॉज इन मराठी, रिटन बाय मिस्टर प्रकाश वेलनकर, नॉन मेडिको। उसके हृदय के बीट्स जो है, हार्ट बीट्स, दे आर ओनली 32। जैसे मैंने वो किताब का मुख्य पृष्ठ देखा, मैंने किताब खरीद लिया और पूरा पढ़ा। पढ़ने के बाद महसूस हुआ कि इतने कम हार्ट बीट्स में भी आदमी फिजियोलॉजिकली फिट रह सकता है क्या। तो इसी ढंग से अगर हम लोग आगे सोचते जाए तो हमें कई सारी बातें मिलेगी। मैं चाहता हूँ सुभाष वागे सर इस तरफ भी थोड़ा ध्यान दे कि ऐसे भी कुछ पर्सन होते हैं एथलीट्स में, हमने देखा है हार्ट बीट्स कम होते, लेकिन 32 हार्ट बीट्स आई नेवर हर्ड अबाउट लाइक दिस। जब मैंने ये बात मेरे गुरुजी स्वर्गीय वैद्य चाताश्री जरूस्कर साहब से बात की तो उन्होंने कहा कि बेटा अभी आपको बहुत पढ़ना है। उन्होंने मुझे कुछ उदाहरण दिए, जैसे कि नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट, उसके हार्ट बीट 37 थे, बिजॉन बोर्ग उसके हार्ट बीट 38 थे, एंड दे प्लेड, बिजॉन बोर्ग वाज विंबलडन प्लेयर। तो ऐसे इसमें कार्डियक फिजियोलॉजी क्या होगी, कैसा काम करता होगा, कितना प्रोपोल होगा, तो इस ढंग से हम लोगों ने बच्चों को पढ़ाना चाहिए, ऐसा मैं सोचता हूँ। और मेरे लिए तो इस समय ज्यादा ज्ञान हासिल करना भी जरूरी था। इस पूरे 6 दिन शुरू से लेकर अंत तक मैं आपके साथ शामिल रहा। मैं आयोजकों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, सभी को शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ, के स्टूडेंट्स के साथ साथ सभी लोगों को देता हूँ, और मुझे आपने मौका दिया इसलिए मन से कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू ऑल।
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Now I request Dr. Mahesh Gupta, sir, to share their experience.
धन्यवाद। सबसे पहले आप सभी को YMT कॉलेज के सभी आयोजकों को इतना जटिल विषय इतने सरल वाक्यों में या सरल शब्दों में आयोजन किया गया। बाकी सभी वक्ता अत्यंत विद्वान और अत्यंत डीप नॉलेज के साथ उन्होंने सबमिट किया। केवल सभी जैसे डॉक्टर अपने बागे सर अभी आज लिया उन्होंने, सुभाष बागे सर ने, उन्होंने भी पूरा नाड़ी तरंगिणी वगैरह के बारे में बताया। तरन्नुम मैडम ने पूरा आयुर्वेदिक जो शरीर क्रिया और शरीर रचना संबंधी जो हृदय का पूर्ण रसवय स्रोत, रक्तवय स्रोत, इसके बारे में डिटेल्स बताया। जय आडे सर ने भी काफी डिटेल्स ECG के बारे में बताया। और तीनों के अतिरिक्त सबसे हमारे सुपर हीरो डॉक्टर रविराज परदेसी सर को मैं अत्यंत बधाई देना चाहूंगा कि उन्होंने इतना डिटेल्स बताया। मैं केवल उनसे एक रिक्वेस्ट ऐसी करना चाहूंगा कि अगर 10 से 15 मिनट का एक वीडियो केवल फर्स्ट BMS क्रिया शारीर के जो बच्चों के हिसाब से अगर वो बना के हमको ग्रुप पे या किस पे भेज सकेंगे तो, क्योंकि इतना डिटेल्स हमारे फर्स्ट ईयर के बच्चों के लिए उपयोगी नहीं रहता, तो फर्स्ट ईयर का जो बेसिक नॉलेज है ECG का, उसके लिए मैं उनसे प्रार्थना करूंगा, रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि अगर 10 से 15 मिनट का वीडियो वो बेसिक नॉलेज ऑफ ECG फॉर फर्स्ट BMS बना के भेज सकेंगे तो अत्यंत हम लोग उनके आभारी रहेंगे। और बाकी सभी को धन्यवाद, सभी हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को धन्यवाद, सभी आयोजक और मैडम के कॉलेज के PG स्टूडेंट्स वगैरह सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dr. Gupta, sir. Now I request Dr. Purva madam to share their thoughts.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First of all detailed feedback regarding all guest speakers given by respected Menki sir or Gupta sir already. Thank you and congratulations to all respected guest speakers and organizers, Deepa ma'am and whole team and whole Dr. Paul Foundation, YMT Ayurved College. Thank you very much for organizing this well-mannered coordinated webinar. This is very important and vast topic. We're getting all regarding from all sessions, deeply knowledge from all sessions. So once again, it is important for student also or for faculty also. So once again, I thank you and congratulate to all guest speakers and respected Paul Foundation YMT College, Deepa ma'am and whole team. Thank you once again and congratulations. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Now I request Dr. Deeplata Sandevar to give their feedback.
Good evening. I am first year student of JNC Nagpur. First of all, thank you for webinar conducted by the YMT Ayurved College, and especially Raviraj sir and Dr. Jay sir explained modern part of cardiac electrophysiology very nicely in easy way. Topics such as the waveform, vectors, ECG, they seem hard to understand, but they explained very excellently. Thank you, Raviraj sir and Jay sir. An yesterday lecture conducted by the Dr. Patel ma'am on Hriday Kriya Sharir was really good and helpful to understand the Ayurved part of cardiophysiology, and today lecture by the Dr. Subhash sir also very nicely and helpful to understand Ayurved part. Thank you, sir. And thank you once again to YMT Ayurved College for conducting such a webinar, such a good, nice webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Deep Lata. Now I request Dr. Mansi Kulkarni to shortly share her feedback.
I think she is not there.
Yeah, take next participant, Prachi.
Now I request Dr. Ayaz Khan to share his feedback. I think Dr. Ayaz Khan is also unavailable. I request Dr. Subhash Wage sir to share their thoughts about the national webinar. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm quite observing this event from the day of its beginning. Actually, if I count it in terms of cricket, the the hard-hitting, marvelous inning by Dr. Raviraj sir in the beginning, and in the middle by Dr. Ade sir, and finally it was left to me to finish up the over. So Dr. Pardesi sir had gone into the details of all the aspects of ECG, how the waves are formed, what are the vectors, and what are different waves, their normalcy, their abnormalities, and how to pick up the cardiac disorders from them. It was wonderful to observe, and he had taken in such a deeper length that even the cardiologist will not elaborate to you in that way. So, and the Dr. Pardesi sir had taken a lot of efforts to go into the details. And when actually few days back, Dr. Kale madam contacted me regarding this, whether you can come and share your views regarding cardiac arrhythmias and Nadi pulse examination, because after going through the modern description of the ECGs, waveforms, and etc., it is mandatory to search for these entities, cardiac disorders in our Ayurvedic ancient literature. Otherwise, it is not supposed as the completion of the activity, which is a very wonderful activity. I suppose they have particularly chosen the Hrita Spandan topic, Hrita Spandan, and the physiology related to heart. So I congratulate the organizers for choosing this topic, and as it is relevant because the cases of myocardial infarction, they are on steep rise across the globe, and the global burden is very high. And in that context, it becomes absolutely necessary for us to look into this aspect and we'll see whether we as Ayurvedists can offer anything to the suffering community. And as far as I know, as far as I gone through these cardiological aspects, they are sometimes, if whenever time and situation permits, I may be talking on myocardial infarction also, how wonderfully it is given in our texts and how wonderful its treatment is also given. The clot lighting drugs, they said the clot lytics, the wonderful approach is there. And the anti-lipid agents, they are as competent as modern drugs, I tell you. And they are devoid of the disastrous complications of the anti-lipid therapy. So all in all, it was a very good activity, and it was very nice to see my senior Dr. Deepa Kale madam after so long gap. We just had some verbal communications some years back, and it's been so long time. Almost 25, 26 years back at
Yes.
GSC Nagpur.
Yes.
Those were the golden days, and but I can recognize her face still today also, and I can recollect those memories. It's wonderful actually. So I thank Kale madam for giving me this opportunity, and my friend Ravi at Jupiter for being instrumental in bringing me on this dais. Thank you, Dr. Ravi sir. I was quite busy since a few days. Some days is a very hectic exercise. Even today, I was wondering whether I will be able to join or not, because I had given a word. Whenever I give a word to anyone, I keep it at all cost. So when the process was going in and it was not completed at our college of that approval process, I left in between and I started for the home because I need to deliver. I gave them a word and I need to keep it. So again, hopefully by God's grace, I could do that. And I wish all the best to the organizers for their future endeavors in this regard. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Subhash Wage sir, with your permission, is it okay if we take one feedback? Dr. Varuni has attended almost all the sessions and she wants to give her feedback. I know it is against the protocol. After chief guest speech, no one is allowed to speak. But if you permit, we can take only one feedback from Dr. Varuni.
They're all our peoples.
Yeah.
They're all our people.
Yes. So, Dr. Varuni, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, madam, and thank you, Wage sir. Sorry for breaking the protocol. Myself, I am Dr. Varuni, working as professor in Sri Sri Ayurveda College, Bangalore. At the outset, I would like to congratulate wholeheartedly Dr. Deepa madam and her team. And I'm very grateful to you, madam, for organizing such a very good seminar, webinar regarding this cardiac electrophysiology. Because why I was attracted by this topic, especially because it is one of the some of the very important system, yet it is for UG level, it is considered as a difficult system. It is always difficult cardiac physiology. Let me not study this. I'll take it up at a later point of time. These thoughts will come up in a student's mind, and making this topic so very interesting and so very easy to understand by the speakers whom you have selected to invite them as guest speakers. I am very extremely thankful to the speakers, and I'm thankful to you also, Deepa madam, for inviting such good speakers. Their extensive knowledge, their preparedness regarding the seminar. It's not just narrating the textbook information while giving the seminar. It shows when they speak how much they have inculcated the knowledge, and the way they see, we say, in between lines they have understood. So that was the essence all the speakers had. Jayade sir also, he explained so beautifully. Raviraj sir, he made it so very simple and मैं तो फिदा हो गई. Then Taranum madam, though it was Ayurvedic cardiac physiology, all the points explained were हमको लगता है कि everything is mentioned in the samhitas, but the way she interpreted it ना, हाँ ऐसे भी समझा जा सकता है ना, like that it made me to think again. And like Wage sir mentioned the newer researchers and the things coming up like Nadi Tarangini, what he mentioned is very apt. So that is where such fields is the where like we Kriya Sharira people should be more proactive towards those things, I feel. And being in Karnataka, I feel somewhere physiology is non-clinical है ना, बोल के this is a sort of a neglected department and a subject. But I feel it is so very important. अगर foundation ही strong नहीं है तो आगे जाके pathology हो या medicine हो, how it will be able to, the student will be able to understand. हमेशा it is called as a non-clinical, and it is not given importance or that much with the seriousness which the students study is also not up to the mark, what I feel. So a sincere request from my side, madam, if possible, can you please bring out a small handbook as a informative handbook which can be taken from this seminar. I know everything, there is a lot of things to consider here, publishing that book, printing, everything. But if it is possible, a small handbook of this particular cardiac electrophysiology seminar as a seminar souvenir, if it is possible, either if it is an e-copy also, then also it would be fine. So
We'll try, ma'am.
like
we will try our level best. Yeah.
And I don't know whether this is the right platform to request this one or not. Being in Karnataka again, I have come across, there are so many very good books in Marathi, which we are unable to access it. So it's a request from my side, please do involve in translation of such books and make the knowledge available to all people. So this is the request from my side, madam. Overall, it was extremely a very productive week. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to attend as well as to express my feedback. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Varuni. Thanks a lot. Now over to Dr. Prachi. Prachi, please take over.
Okay. Now for the vote of thanks, I request Dr. Pankaja madam to come forward.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Very good evening to everyone. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of YMT Ayurvedic Medical College, Kriya Sharya Department, first of all, extend hearty vote of thanks to our guest speakers, Dr. Subhash Wage sir, Dr. Raviraj Pardeshi sir, Dr. Jay Ade sir, Dr. Tarannum Patel ma'am, feeling honored that they have spared time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with their knowledge. I would like to express a profound gratitude to our Honorable Dr. G.D. Bose sir for his constant motivation and guidance. I would like to thank to our Dean, Dr. Sanjeev Yadav sir, for his guidance and moral support. I would like to give my sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Dr. Ninath Sakhi sir. I would like to thank our PG Coordinator, Dr. Zaikini ma'am, for their constant encouragement. I'm also thankful to our beloved HOD, Dr. Deepa Kale ma'am. She worked tirelessly for this webinar. I'm happy to express a vote of thanks to our staff, Dr. Namrata Vengurlekar, Dr. Ujjwala More, Dr. Jyoti Jangle, made this webinar a grand success. I would like to thank Mr. Prashant Godse and his team for technical support for our webinar. I would like to thank to our PG students, Dr. Prachi, Dr. Ashwini, for their efforts towards anchoring. Finally, I'm thankful to the wonderful participants, thank you so much for your cooperation. Once again, I thank all your cordial cooperation. Thank you. I now declare that webinar series is over. Thank you.